Hello and welcome to Anti-Allotment today. Just gone down to do some pruning of the raspberries. Now the way to tell the older ones on summer fruiting is if you look at this particular branch here, what you'll notice is compared to other branches, for instance this one here is a lot lighter, and of course it's branched off a lot more, which means it's older. The idea behind this pruning process is first of all to take these ones down right to the ground and remove them. And if I just take it back, the job started from here, and so far that's the old wood out. All the old raspberry wood is out there, but I haven't finished yet. All I've done is remove the old wood so far. Here you can see a pile of the old wood that I've just pruned out. The way to tell it is old wood, if I lift it up for you now, is it's quite branched. That gives you a clue that it's been there for a few years, and it feels a lot drier than the new wood. Of course these are summer fruiting, and I've cut this one down, right down. Okay, so far I've managed to do about halfway along this line here, but even then I'm not finished, because you can see all the young growth here, and that will want thinning out. Here we have an example of two adjacent branches here, and you've got one here which, although it's light coloured, has got buds on it and needs to be left alone, but next to it is another one which is very similar colour. So the clue I've got here in March, I've left the pruning late, is the fact that this older one is heavily branched. There's your clue. The older ones that need to come out have got a lot of branching. The younger ones, some will need to be thinned out, don't have so much branching, and that's how I'm going about it. Very young shoots on the summer fruiting raspberry will be like this, very thin, and you can see that they've got little sort of spines on them. And there's another one here, this very thin one that I'm holding at the moment. Okay, and some of them can be taken out, but again that's the youngest growth on the plant. This cane here, as you can see, is old and branched, and I'll need to take it out right at ground level. So I'm going to go in here, okay, and take it right down, low down. Okay, here you go. Out it comes. Here we are, looking back along the line, and I've removed as much of the old canes as I possibly can. Quite a sizable pile there, and that can join other things on the compost heap, which includes the remains of my purple sprouting broccoli, which, like with other people on the gardening tube, you people have said to me that the wood pigeons had them. I'm glad you told me that, because I thought it was whitefly, but having noticed the thousands of peck marks, I believe it was ravenous wood pigeons towards the end of the beast from the east, probably on the Friday. These are my purple sprouting broccolis. There's nothing left of them. At first I thought it might be whitefly, because as you can see, if you look around, even now on the compost heap, they're busy. But having looked at some other people's uploads, I appreciate, it's ravenous wood pigeons. They came along towards the sort of worst bit from the beast from the east. They were ravenous, and so flocks of wood pigeons came to people's allotments and ate whatever they could find. These were planted in June last year, so they were 9 months old. I've nearly finished this line here, which is soft fruit. It's gooseberries, okay, and as I move down the line, there's another one there. As you can see, crown's been opened up, and there's a good mixture there of newer shoots plus some of the older wood, and the red currants here. And I've had problems with the red currants because I've not pruned them correctly at all. I've looked up videos uploaded by you people, you kind people, and seen what I've been left with is really old wood because it's not been correctly pruned. And what I should have been looking for, or organising, with these younger, you can see this one, this vertical here, younger shoots. That's what I need to encourage. Yes, it'll get fruit on older wood, but I'm looking for these younger shoots to come up, because it's the future of the plant as well as what I'm going to get in the next season coming up. And along the line there, the rest of the gooseberries have been done, which are some different varieties, including ones I've had at home which didn't fruit at all. I didn't get hardly any gooseberries last year, so I'm hoping this year, also with digging up all of the shoots underneath, all of the ones that have been thrown underground because they put suckers up. Gooseberries are well known for it, as you probably know. So you need to roll the way around the plant as well, and dig up all of the suckers around it. So hopefully, a few more jobs to do. There's a black currant there, that will need doing, but you can see that's got some nice healthy, these leaders here are the younger growth that come up from the ground, and that's what we need to encourage. If I just show you at the back of our allotments along here, which is on the floodplain of the Trent, they're doing an archaeological survey. That's because some planning permission's been put in, and it's really ancient land. It belonged to nobility, part of an estate where knights used to joust, and being on the floodplain of the River Trent, they planned around that with their crops. But you just never know what they might find here. I'm ever hopeful when it comes to archaeology. It's fascinating, isn't it? Who knows if they found some buried Saxon golds that the Vikings got hold of. And of course, if you look over there, there's the Trent Hills up there, and along the River Trent, that's where the Vikings came on their invasion with the Great Army, and they overwintered down the River Trent, much further down, a place called Repton, which they overran, basically. Fascinating, but ancient head of a river valley. That's where, geologically, I believe, this area would be called. Another little snippet of local history. Our church in the village was built 50 years before the Black Death struck, and it's a superb Gothic style, and it's made of Ancaster stone. And I looked into this. Apparently, Ancaster stone, obviously that's a place where the quarries were. Ancaster is a place where the River Trent, which is where I live near to in Nottinghamshire, used to flow through where Ancaster is now into the North Sea, and the great rivers of Europe sort of met. And then this is before the actual North Sea was created, by, before the seawater burst over and flooded over the land bridge between the UK and Europe. But so the original course of the River Trent changed, but they must have taken the stone, which is over the other side of the allotment here. If I show you the Trent Hills up there, they must have taken the stone and dragged it along by cart, I believe, probably, and brought it all the way during medieval times, and it's the 14th century. But when the Black Death struck the UK, it was so depopulated that whole villages disappeared, and even now in Lincolnshire they're finding missing villages because everyone's life was taken by the Black Death. And recently they've discovered that although rats were a vector, it was person-to-person transmission. Most likely, well, that's what the computer models are telling them on the continent. I mean, I always believed it was down to the rats, like plague, but yes, they carry it, but the actual vector, the way it was transmitted, they say was person to person. So if you lived in a close community, you were highly at risk. But very sad, but life was short, wasn't it, back then? Thank goodness for the modern medicine we have. Nice to watch the starlings in flight over the allotments. If you are weeding on old allotments, and these ones are on the site of what was a farm used by workhouse people, and previous to that, of course, it was ancient land owned by aristocracy, an estate. Look out for old plants that could have been around since medieval times, were used by medieval people. For instance, this little weed here, inconspicuous, is actually chamomile, okay? And it would have been brought over to be planted here in the UK. It's the strongest form, Roman chamomile. So I always collect it and I grow it in tubs myself. And I do use chamomile tea myself. Growing things in allotments such as Roman chamomile has been a great help to me. This is how I've left the canes this evening. Beautiful sunset over there, and the sky, all sorts of colours of pink on a southwesterly, the rain starting. And these are the canes going down the line. It's been quite a fight with them, as you appreciate if you've got raspberries. It's they're quite spiny, aren't they? So it's been me versus the raspberries. Well, that's it for today, and as you can see, the weather here is coming in gently on a rolling southwesterly. Beautiful colours in the sky over the glass houses, and that's what allotmenting is all about, grabbing that slice of fresh air